motorcycles, you get music, you get food, you get skating, bike ride, BMXing, you get, it's this whole experience there.
Yeah, you get everything there.
You really do.
Yeah, dude.
Is Belching Beaver a part of that?
Unfortunately, no.
We got to figure out how to do that.
Dude, honestly, I'm working behind the scenes. So part of my job is doing the behind the scenes work. So I'm always at events, venues, talking to them, trying to get the beer in.
Right.
But when that happens, a lot of politics happens, dude. A lot of like money issues, like things need to be a certain price. It gets crazy, dude, because at these big venues, man, I don't think a lot of people understand. Those cases of Modelo, those tall cans of Modelo, you're buying at Dodger Stadium for $15. That can cost them only $1.20. So
and that's $1.20 from beginning to end?
Yeah, it's $1.20.
Okay, so that's including the beer that's in it.
That's including the beer. So Dodger Stadium is buying that can for $1.20 a can, but selling it at $15, $16. That's a $15 profit.
Crazy.
And
and they're selling what, a thousand, a couple thousand?
No, for a whole season. I was talking to a distributor rep. Don't kill me, bro. He sells about 50,000 cases per season. So you're talking about you're talking about 50,000 cases.
I'm not a math genius, but that's
a lot of money.
I mean, in the millions.
Well, if you go to Buffalo Wild Wings per keg, a half barrel, like say Modelo, they're buying it at $170 a keg, but their profit is $1,000.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know this. Like when they're going there, they're having a good time, but these guys are making a lot of money, and that's the whole thing. That's a struggle, and especially on my side. I just had a meeting with Staples Center. They love the liquid, love the beer, but when it came down to price, they're like, "Yeah, we don't like the price."
Just like, the margins are not.
Yeah, for them to make a good profit didn't set right.
Right.
So I was kind of just like, well, what can I do? And they're like, you got to come down on price. So then when that happens, I got to go back to my owners.
Right.
And it's not our pricing, it's our distributor's pricing. So then we have to hash it out like, hey, it's going to be a good solid lead for us, and then we all have to get together and come up with a game plan.
Do you think that it's just complete, I guess, greed, or do you think that these venues put this price up to that crazy number to kind of deter people from maybe getting really hammered? Or
no, dude, it's not greed. It's not anything like that at all. These people want these good sports fanatics right here. They want these good sports players here. They want this top-notch NBA teams. They want the top-notch baseball players. It all comes with a price, dude.
Right.
And that's where a lot of these teams get the money from, concessions. But also, people don't know the behind the scenes that when they go to all these sporting events, those event people you see selling the concessions, selling all that,
right?
That company is owned by Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys. So they're not employed by Staples Center. They're employed by Jerry Jones, and they're contracted through his company to come out and play. Come out and serve concessions.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he owns them. It's Jerry Jones's company.
Oh,
and that's the deal he has with all the major sporting events.
That's a hell of a monopoly there.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. Him and his team.
That's good information. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, dude. You'd be amazed at what you see behind the scenes.
Did you hear that Reyes, I guess, acquired, what is it, Claypool?
Claypool. So Reyes Beverage is the #1 beer distributor in North America.
Right.
I used to work for him. Used to be a former employee of them. Now
I did not know that. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I used to work for him. Great company, man. Great company, but it comes with a price, dude. They demand a lot. And if you're willing to do willing to go the extra mile and willing to do that, you're going to make a lot of money.
And just, really quickly, I don't want to interrupt you, man. I hate doing that, but I want you to, if you could just explain a little bit, if anybody's listening and have no idea what we're talking about. I mean, can you explain what Reyes is, what Claypool is, what role they play, and how it kind of works?
Okay, so Reyes Beverage is a company based out of Chicago. So it's brothers who started this company with their dad. They started the company by buying out one beer distributor, then that trickled into buying a couple more. Then eventually now they are the biggest privately owned company out there. It's 5 brothers still doing it. Duke and I think Chris Reyes are the 2 oldest brothers.
And what are they doing out there? What is the business?
The business is beer distributing. So
what is a beer distributor?
Beer distributors are the guys that deliver the beer to the liquor stores, to the grocery stores, the guys that go to the bars, and those big beer trucks you see delivering beer. That's a beer distributor.
And a beer distributor, I mean, there are several different beer distributors.
There's in LA County alone, there's 5 different ones, but they're separated by Bud and Miller Coors houses. So you have two Budweiser houses. So that's Ace Beverage and Triangle Beverage.
And we all see those.
You see those out there.
Right.
But then you also, the Miller Coors distributors you have out here is Beauchamp out of Compton. You have Classic Distributing out of La Puente. And then you have Reyes Beverage out of multiple houses. So they have houses. Their main hub is in Huntington Beach, but they have a Gardena warehouse. They have a Santa Fe warehouse. They own a Sylmar warehouse, and then they also have a Ventura warehouse. But them buying out Claypool is just another beer distributor selling to a bigger beer distributor. It could be for many reasons. Could be, like they're just, it's time to pack it up, collect our chips, and retire, if they want to take over the new territory. Mm-hmm. So, but Claypool's based out of, they deliver Blythe, Glamis, all the way out to Arizona, basically. Okay. That whole section, El Centro, that whole desert area that no one wants to go out, that's where they distribute at.
I see.
Yeah, so. But you know what? More kudos to them, dude. Like, you know what? When I first was with the company, they bought out our company. So I was in the whole transition, not knowing if I was going to have a job, not knowing if I was going to be there. I found out on the last day walking out, I didn't think I got rehired. And my boss tells me, he's all, Paul, man, where are you going? I'm like, just clean out my locker, bro, because I didn't get hired. He's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you didn't sign your paperwork. I go, I never got my paperwork. And we went to HR. They sent it to my old address.
Oh, wow.
So I made a walked out of a job, but they're like, yeah, you got hired, dude. You just didn't sign the paperwork. I was like, oh shit,
my bad,
my bad. Yeah, it was the wrong address, man.
What a trip, man.
Yeah,
that's such a trip.
But Ray's is cool. It's they're Belching Beaver's beer distributor.
They are Belching Beaver's beer distributor.
There are beer distributors. The guys I work closely with, and it's pretty crazy because those guys that are now VPs, head managers. Those guys were all merchandisers either with me or they were my salesmen or they were my director of sales. And so now I have a good relationship with them. So because I worked with them and I was under them for so long, like my top VP of sales in Santa Fe, he was my old sales director. So he knows me personally, and me and him have a relationship to where I could call him directly. I don't need to go through the proper channels and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it makes it a lot easier for me.
What is the process for a beer company or what's the relationship like between a beer company and a distributor?
So in the beer industry, there's a 3-tier system. So there's the brewery, distributor, and then the buyers, which is the liquor stores, grocery stores, stuff like that. Bars. Mm-hmm. That's a 3-tier system. But because due to ABC laws, that's the way it's set up, and it has to be that way. Mm-hmm. So we can't do that. We can't go around that system because there's contracts involved. If I was to sell to the liquor store down the street and I took a sale away from Reyes, it's going to be a big mess because that's the contract. They have to do it.
Right.
So it's pretty crazy, dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it that people have no idea. I didn't realize it. That's why I'm asking, because I don't know.
Nah, man, there's a lot of things, and so they purchase it from us. We brew it, they purchase it from us. Then from there, they distribute for us. So they get it out to the masses. Well, I'm out there supporting their teams. So I went from managing probably when I was with Reyes like 60 accounts. Now I manage all of LA County.
Wow.
And then I manage all their employees, which, it could range from bar salesmen to liquor store salesmen to chain salesmen to events, dude. So I manage it all, and sometimes it's a headache, dude.
It sounds like it, man. It sounds like a huge responsibility.
Yeah. But it comes with a lot of perks, though, man.
Well, I mean, that's a... it's going to go to a question and leading to a question that I have for you later, but how did you end up getting involved with Belching Beaver?
You know what? A good mentor of mine, he's no longer with the company. Mark Amador. He's a good mentor of mine. I was working for Reyes, and I actually sold the whole portfolio. So sometimes, you get the salesmen, they only sell what they want to sell. But I sold to my customers based on, what they would like, what I enjoyed and stuff like that. So Belching Beaver was one of the first breweries I really enjoyed and really liked. Mm-hmm. So he kind of mentored me. He would help me out,
and who is that?
It's on Mark Amador. He's no longer with the company. Okay. He actually went off to start his own brewery.
Okay.
So and then one day, I wasn't liking the routine. I'm not a big fan of routine. I get tired of routines. I
understand that.
So he was actually trying to get me hired for a long time, but I didn't know it. He was just like, hey, dude, this is a guy. We need to hire him. And then when I quit, I reached out to him, and he's like, we're hiring. And they had, him and my owner had a falling out. But after that, I got the interview, came in, and it never stopped ever since, man.
And how long has that been?
3 years.
3 years. So other than, sampling and tasting amazing beers, what are some of the things that you enjoy about your job?
I enjoy because I meet different people every day, dude. Mm-hmm. I get to travel different places. I make my own schedule.
That's always a great thing, making your own schedule.
There's times where I start at 12 o'clock. It's only because it's going to be a late night, dude. I'm going to be out there till 10 o'clock at night. Or I might be out there till midnight, because I may have an event. I don't know how long it's going to take. But that's what I like, dude. And plus I like selling beer, dude. It's a very small community, but it's fun, dude.
What are some of your favorite Belching Beaver beers?
My favorite Belching Beaver beer is Phantom Bride, which is the collab we do with the Deftones.
Okay.
And Viva La Beaver. That's our Mexican chocolate stout. And out of all of our core beers, that's the highest alcohol volume.
What is it?
It's a peanut butter with Mexican chocolate.
But what's the alcohol?
7.5.
What's the name of that one?
Viva La Beaver.
Viva La Beaver, okay.
When we're trying to be politically correct, we switched it to Mexican chocolate. But then when everybody was asking us, like, it was still the same liquid as Viva La Beaver, but we switched the name to Mexican chocolate.
Okay.
But then everybody kept on asking us, "Where's Viva La Beaver? Where's Viva La Beaver?" It's like, it's Mexican chocolate now.
The name changed, but it's still the same.
It's still the same, and they're just like, "Well, bring back Viva." So we thought people were didn't like the name because dude is saying we just didn't want to be wrong and offend people.
Right.
But people kept on saying Viva La Beaver, Viva La Beaver, so we brought it back.
But I mean, one of the beers that you guys are really known for is the peanut butter milk stout, right?
Yes, that's the one that we started. That's the one where my brewmaster, now owner, Troy, and Tom and Dave first started the company with.
Okay.
And nobody thought they can sell a peanut butter beer. And to this day, if you go anywhere within California, I don't know about going outside California, but our peanut butter is the better one out of all the breweries. Like, a lot of people hands down would say our peanut butter is the best one.
I want to try it. That's one of the beers I've never tried.
It's pretty much a Reese's Pieces with alcohol.
Oh man, that's not a good thing for me because I love both of those.
Yeah, so that one's a pretty crazy one, dude. That one's a gnarly one, man. So
can you tell me why Phantom Bride and the peanut butter stout are such popular beers?
So at first, Phantom Bride was basically our special release with the Deftones. They came to. So the way that came about was Chino and the band wanted to get into the beer industry, so they reached out to a few breweries, and we were pretty much the only ones that actually wanted to work with them. We engaged with them. We asked them, "What do you guys want? What do you like? What do you guys prefer?" And they liked that with us. And at first, what sold the brand was the name. Deftones, Phantom Bride. The can artwork is fucking sick. I love it.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. And but now the liquid is just you can't beat the liquid. The liquid is, for 7.1, it drinks like a lager.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it's a 7.1. It's what is it? 60 IBUs.
You know what? Yeah, 60 IBUs. It's very low in bitterness. Mm-hmm, so but it's very crushable. You drink that on a cold day, it's on a hot day, it's pretty good, dude.
Yeah, ice cold.
Yeah, dude, it's really good. And you know what? A lot of people now buy it because of the liquid. It keeps selling because it's one of those that even on tap. A lot of them rated it as one of the top IPAs to put on tap. So
Such a good beer, man. I enjoy it. I still have a few here. Try and drink them before they expire. But
yeah, but that beer actually now outsells peanut butter milk stout.
So it's the leading.
It's the leading one, but we also launched in like Japan, Korea, like China.
Oh, is it?
So over there, they love the peanut butter and Viva la Beaver. So
Is it becoming pretty popular
over there? They love stouts, dude. Honestly, I have a lot of Asian accounts. That
is that something new, or is it always been?
It's always been that way, dude.
Interesting.
They love stouts, dude.
Because they don't make a lot of stouts.
No, they don't. So they deal with a lot of pilsners, a lot of like lagers.
Right.
So when something different comes out, they love it. Like my friend left California because he didn't like how he had his political views. He didn't like how America was going, so he went back to China. And what he did was open the first American gastropub in Shanghai, which is Hair of the Dog, he named it. And he brought every American IPA and stouts over there, and it was just a big hit.
So he was one of the people who originally, I guess, kind of brought that out there, or
he said it was out there, but no one wanted to take the risk. So I would say he was the first person that took the risk of pretty much losing everything he had to make a go about it.
And he did it on a large scale.
Yeah, and he did it on a large scale, dude. And now, dude, he's killing it. He's doing really well.
So I have to ask you, I over the past couple of days, you and I have shared a few text messages back and forth.
Oh, I knew it was going there.
You brought up Chino, so I'm a huge Deftones fan. I'm not as dedicated as I once was in my younger days, but I'm a huge Deftones fan. There's a couple of Deftones signs throughout.
Yeah, I see it. Your tattoo says it all.
My tattoo. I have one of their album covers tattooed on me, and I'm a huge fan of Steph. He's my favorite.
I think he lives local.
He does live local, yeah. And I pulled up an old photograph of him holding my daughter, one of my young,
Okay.
my oldest now, as a baby, with Chester, rest in peace, there, and they signed some stuff for me, and it was a local event here in Palos Verdes. So
I remember seeing Deftones with No Doubt at a backyard party in Hermosa.
Oh man, that's the stuff dreams are made of.
You know what a lot of people don't know, man, like Pennywise and, TSOL, all these guys that lived in the South Bay, they were always performing in the backyards. And I remember seeing Fishbone with No Doubt, and I was just like...
Pennywise, yeah. You said Pennywise, right?
Yeah, Pennywise out there, and I'm like, what the hell? Then one day, I remember seeing the guys from the Deftones ready to play a backyard party, and I'm just like...
It's insane, man.
I'm like, no fucking way. But that was in the early days of MTV,
Right, early 90s.
Yeah, they're barely coming out, but they played the backyard. It was pretty cool.
So we were sending a few messages back and forth, and you went on a little mini vacation?
No, man, it was actually work, man. I was up
was it work related?
Yeah, it was work related, dude. So
and you got to hang out with...
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, we got to hang out with Chino for a little bit. Dude, roll around with him.
Crazy, man.
He's
I'm doing a super fan thing right now. You have no idea.
Nah, man, he's a really cool dude, man. He's really good, man.
Big shout out to the Deftones and Chino, man.
Yeah, he's really cool, dude. He's a solid guy, but it's so crazy that he's such an introvert that you wouldn't expect that from him, He kind of just likes to just do his thing. That's the whole reason why he moved out to Oregon, was just be away from everything, just be by himself. And you really see it where he's at. Like, you see him have his zen, like, dude. Like, you just see him just turn into a different light, dude. It's
really cool. I mean, I'm sure that they really need that after the crazy chaotic lives that they've led for so long. They need that.
Yeah, and he even says, dude, when he was young, it was over. When he drinks beer, it's a quantity over quality. So now he's more of a quality over quantity, dude. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we start to do as we get older, right?
You know what? Nah, man. I'm surrounded by craft beer all day long, and
So it's quantity and quality.
yeah, but
Thanks for rubbing it in.
no, but honestly, for me, at the end of the day, man, you'll still catch me opening up a Mickey's grenade and a Paps.
Oh, I love that, man.
Oh, I do have the Mickey Stinger tattooed on me.
I've seen that. I've seen that before. Yeah, that's a cool tattoo, man.
Yeah, so
Mickey's, I think we've had this conversation, but I used to be a huge Mickey's drinker myself. So the 40s, the little grenade, wide mouths, big mouths.
yeah, I remember back in my heyday, I chugged